If they can't hear you, they can't hire you. Coming up next. Hey everybody, Ben here from JobNimbus with the Building Business channel, and I've got Dennis from Podium here. Glad to have you. And I want to talk about customer experience today. I feel like the most important product today that your company offers is your customer experience. Why do you think that you've seen so much of a shift towards more of customer experience over the last few years?
Yeah, I think it is the main thing that your company can offer to differentiate.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, if you're not as convenient as your competition, they're going somewhere else. And that has shifted, and the shift has been accelerated because of everything that's happening at the macro level, right? We've had a global pandemic.
Yep.
And so I think before businesses, things you would put things off that were really important to customer experience, but hard to adapt to. So something like Instagram Messenger, why would you spend time to get that implemented into your business? But what we saw with the pandemic was all these things shifted overnight, of going from being like a nice to have, like, oh, it'd be nice to communicate to my customers through Instagram, to a must have. And that's how businesses needed to stay in business overnight, right? Maybe they were reliant on in-person or something else like that. So we've seen an acceleration, a shift to adapt to new customer experiences, and consumers have now raised the bar for what they really expect when they deal with a local business.
That's a great point. What I think was a natural trend that you would have got to Instagram at some point was accelerated massively by the global situation.
Right.
And so now you're like getting left in the dust if you're not even doing those things. That's like table stakes now, those things.
Right.
So what are some of the things that you need to be doing as a business to really provide a great customer experience?
Well, customers, I think, expect you to be as convenient to interact with as anything else. And so what's setting the bar out there are things like Amazon and Uber and just these incredible customer experience platforms that's all, wherever you are, any device at any time. And it's hard for a local business to adapt to that, right? There's a lot of nuances and things to adapt to. So that's the bar that's been set, and it centers mostly around communication, right? The expectation is, I need an instant response right now, or I'm moving on, right? And so really, I think it comes down to being able to, on the communication side, communicate with your customer wherever they're at, on any device at any time, and be ready for that. And then second, once you get them in that experience and you're walking them through the journey, being able to pay at any point during that process, being able to leave a review, being able to transact or add something onto the job, all of these things, anytime, anywhere, any device. That's, I think, the bar that's been set.
So you mentioned like Amazon and Uber. These companies are billions and billions of dollars. How does a small contracting company in Lehigh, Utah, compete with these guys? What can I do to improve my communication and my customer experience?
It's really invest the time and what you need to as a business to leverage the technology that's out there. I mean, that's what we work so hard to provide, is tools that allow businesses to provide that same experience as Uber, right? And because typically as a business, you're not going to have the resources to build your own app and to build out all these processes, right? Leverage the technology that's out there and those systems, get them dialed in, and if you're able to do that, then you can definitely provide that experience. And the consumer, when they're working with a local business, once they work with a local tire shop or a dentist or your landscaper or a roofer, and they experience that, now the next time they're looking for somebody to work on the exterior of their home or a contractor to work with, that's the expectation, that's the bar. And if you can adapt ahead of your competition, now you have the advantage.
So you mentioned convenience a few times. Tell me a few things that you could do right now as a business to really improve your convenience for your homeowners, your customers.
I think the biggest thing is messaging, right? Just have your messaging tools dialed in. Customers are contacting you from so many different places. Maybe they saw you on Facebook because you finally got a good Facebook marketing campaign going, right? They want to message you probably from there, right? That's most convenient. Maybe they texted in, being able to text right back. Maybe they called in, but you were busy and they got your voicemail, right? So how do you shoot them a quick text as a response? These little things that just allow for you to get them hooked in before your competition. The nice thing about these messaging channels is once you have the customer in there, you have much better chance of keeping them in for the whole journey, right? Before they move on to somebody else. So I think what convenience gives you, the advantage, is you can be the first business that you're building a relationship with the customer on, right? And the first business that builds that relationship probably will have them for a long time if you're a good business.
Yeah, that's great. So people are, I know, a lot more interested in receiving messages in certain ways. And I know Podium, you guys have done a lot of data on this and analysis.
Yep.
I'd love you to share some of these numbers, because one of the things that blew my mind was how common it is for people to want to do text messaging. Another thing that was really surprising is what the most common searches are for Google right now with the word best in them. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so definitely on Google searching, the most common is best and near me. Mm-hmm. And so you have to have a high rating to qualify for best. Actually, Google filters
Google reviews, right?
Yeah, Google reviews, right? And so they'll actually filter you out. If a customer is saying best, they won't show anything under 4 stars. So they put in that bar, that filter, and they're saying, hey, the consumer only wants to see best. We'll only show them best.
Okay, so literally when somebody types in the word best, like best roofer in Colorado or whatever, Denver, Colorado, if you don't have a 4-star or higher, you won't even show up no matter what. Even if you might be the most popular roofer there.
It's like an automatic filter being put right into the search bar.
Wow.
So that's really powerful, right?
Yep.
Then they add near me to it, and now Google, again, they see that as a filter that the consumer is basically putting into the search bar, and so they will filter, anything that's only in the local area for that customer.
Okay.
As they're searching.
So if you're not targeting a certain city or locale, you won't even come up on that search.
Right. You got to have your Google My Business page dialed in with the right address and have that all be pulling up the right way. So to offer that convenience, you got to have some of these foundational things set in place and know that, okay, if this is the channel that the consumer's looking at me on, how am I right there to respond right when they're searching for me?
Thanks, Dennis. So just to summarize here, you're really trying to improve your convenience for your customer and improve that communication, and it's all about the customer experience. Okay, thanks a bunch for joining us today. We'll be back next time. Keep on building your business.